evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Bruce Frisco. It is Wednesday, the 7th of January. This is CTV News. Tonight, stepping up, support for the family of the boy mauled to death by dogs. A dubious distinction, the Maritime province with the worst food inflation in Canada. And giant sticky notes, oversized Post-its encouraging Maritimers to live their best lives.
Live from our Maritime's News Center, this is CTV News. Here is Bruce Frisco.
Good evening. We're learning more tonight about the boy who was killed in that terrible dog attack in Shelburne County over the weekend. And as support rolls in for his families, we are also learning more about the animals themselves. CTV's Hafsa Arif is our top story.
Friends of the family describe Drew Nickerson as someone happiest exploring and cycling through his neighborhood. Harris says last week Drew was returning home from a friend's house on his bicycle when 3 large dogs attacked him. RCMP now confirmed the attack involved 2 cane corsos and a Rottweiler. Police insist the owners have been cooperative and even requested their dogs be put down immediately. But those closest to the family say the 13-year-old did nothing to provoke the attack. While investigators sort out the details, support for Drew's mother has exploded. Harris started a fundraiser which in less than 24 hours has skyrocketed to over $60,000. A separate community raffle organized by a fisherman who lives nearby is also bringing in tens of thousands of dollars. Drew's soccer community is also remembering the 13-year-old. In a statement they told CTV, Drew will be remembered by his warm smile, his kindness, and the joy he brought to those around. Qualities that reflect how deeply he was loved by his family and embraced by his community. For now, RCMP are urging anyone with information or video to contact their Shelburne detachment as they work to understand more on the circumstances of Drew's death. Hafsa Arif, CTV News, Halifax.
It is long over now, but there was an unusual emergency situation near downtown Sydney today. Buildings were evacuated. Police cordoned off an area when an explosive device was found inside a building. CTV's Ryan McDonald has more.
Police tape covered a couple of city blocks and a hole could be seen in the glass door of a downtown business. All signs that it was far from a normal Wednesday morning in Sydney.
Just after 7:30 this morning, we received a call about a property damage at the Ideal Car Care on Pitt Street in Sydney. Officers responded and noticed a broken window. As they went inside, they found an item that appeared to be an
Alert first told people shortly after 9:30 that the explosive device was a grenade.
It appears to be live. We're not sure yet. We have the military disposal unit coming down to remove it safely.
The area nearby is a mix of homes and businesses, but Pitt Street, which was cordoned off, is mostly commercial. Some people had to work remotely for the day.
We evacuated a city block, blocked off the roads, and then a little while later put out the alert so we wouldn't have any traffic in the area.
After the initial response, much of the rest of the day was spent waiting for an explosive removal team to arrive from Halifax, about a 4-hour drive away. Police here say no such thing exists in the Sydney area because, frankly, it's so rare that they deal with anything like this.
Yeah, it's the first time that I've seen it in my time here.
The military team arrived late this afternoon to remove the grenade and deal with it. Ryan McDonald, CTV News, Sydney.
Nova Scotia man is admitted to a fatal stabbing in Dartmouth more than 2 years ago. Today was supposed to be the start of the trial of Jamie Dukenfield's second-degree murder, but instead, the 35-year-old admitted to killing Benjamin Clattenburg in October of 2023. They were together in a car at the time, according to prosecutors.
A verbal dispute happened in the car. The victim, Mr. Clattenburg, pulled over the vehicle. At that time, Mr. Dukenfield exited the vehicle, threw a food container, as well as started kicking the vehicle of Mr. Clattenburg. At that point, Mr. Clattenburg exited the driver's side of his vehicle, and a fight ensued at that time, a physical altercation.
Dukenfield then pulled out a knife and stabbed Clattenburg in the chest. Sentencing is set for late March. Person from Ontario will face a judge in PEI tomorrow after police seized a significant amount of drugs and paraphernalia in a couple of recent searches. Police raided raided homes, I should say, in Charlottetown and Stratford, collecting cocaine, oxycodone, hydromorphone, and nearly $20,000 in cash, along with other items. Triswana Christian remains in custody, facing a number of drugs and weapons charges.
Get the Maritime's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
Dozens of high-tech jobs in Halifax evaporated today. A world-leading video game maker has decided to close its maritime operation, throwing 71 people out of work, effective immediately. Ubisoft is based in France. The company acquired its Halifax operation back in 2015. It's worth noting a lot of the Halifax workers became the first in North America to join a union, the Game and Media Workers Guild of Canada. This was last year. As of September, Ubisoft had 17,000 employees worldwide, but business was clearly down. They've been slashing jobs and streamlining since 2023. The company insists the union decision out of Halifax had nothing to do with closing it down. Spokesperson telling CTV News via email, Ubisoft fully respects employees' rights to unionize and has unionized teams globally. The union isn't buying it, though, saying the timing, quote, raises many questions for which we do not yet have the answers. A spokesperson goes on to describe the decision as devastating, saying they will be demanding answers from the company as they help members transition. The Halifax operation specialized in those free-to-play mobile titles that earn money from players buying optional items in the games. Rising food prices are something we're all familiar with, but a new survey shows just how much inflation is taken out of our wallets. And turns out a maritime province tops the list. CTV's Derek Haggett has more.
It's a typical grocery run for Garth and Marie-Josée of Scotia. They hit the value produce stand, then a trip to the discount store, and finally a stop at an independent family-owned grocer.
Whatever the best price is, that's where we're going. Go through the flyers, and that's how we make our budget.
New Brunswick shoppers like this couple face the worst food inflation in the entire country right now, according to a new study. At 3.7%, New Brunswick has had the greatest increase in food prices from May 2024 to May 2025, followed by Newfoundland and Labrador, Ontario, Saskatchewan, and Prince Edward Island. Nova Scotia had the lowest increase in food prices over the same period of time at 2.7%. The higher food inflation in New Brunswick, not a big shock at this grocery store.
No, it doesn't surprise me at all. I thought it'd be higher than that, actually, for the prices that we're paying.
Doesn't surprise me at all. I've lived in other provinces, and I know it's cheaper, but we got to eat.
A leading expert on national food prices says it's not uncommon to see higher prices here in Atlantic Canada.
Most food that is actually consumed in New Brunswick is not made in New Brunswick, and that's the reality of the Atlantic overall.
One of the most expensive food items right now, beef, which has jumped dramatically by 12.7%. It's prices like that that force many to shop around.
It doesn't leave a lot for anything else.
Derek Haggett, CTV News, Moncton.
A longtime cafe owner in Fredericton says she's selling out because she can't justify raising her prices to cover soaring costs anymore. CTV's Laura Brown has her story tonight.
This dough is on day 2 of a 3-day process. Chilling, laminating, shaping. Important steps in making an authentic croissant. And pastry chef Patty Hollenberg will only serve the real deal. But it's cost her.
Do you really want to look and see your customers go gasp at a $7 croissant?
It's why she's tried not to increase her prices at her downtown Fredericton cafe. But butter and chocolate are as expensive as ever. So is labor, power, insurance, and property taxes.
Paying people properly, trying to buy good ingredients, like the cost of everything has just caught up with me.
After 14 years, Hollenberg says it was either sell or claim bankruptcy. She chose the first. Restaurants Canada says right now 41% of the country's restaurants are not profitable.
We're talking double-digit increases across the board, whether it's food, labor, utilities, operating expenses, insurance. It's an incredibly steep increase in cost. At the same time, the consumers don't have as much money to spend on restaurants.
Next Friday, Chess Piece Cafe will be under new ownership. Hollenberg says none of her staff should be affected. She's hoping to further her education, eventually teach about food literacy. But she is mourning the moments that made her love operating the cafe.
Getting to be a part of someone's just day is not lost on me.
What will be lost to the many regulars will be seeing her every day. Laura Brown, CTV News, Fredericton.
Maritimers hunting for lactose-free milk might have to stop at more than one grocery store to find it these days. It has been difficult to locate. No one is sure exactly why. That said, Ottawa established new rules around vitamin D content in cow's milk, goat's milk, and margarine back in 2022. And the dairy industry had until January 1st to comply with those new rules.
My guess is that some of the verticals, some of the SKUs, like lactose-free milk, they haven't been able to adapt quickly or as quickly as with other SKUs or other categories.
Sour cream has also been in short supply, but that can be traced to the closure of a plant in Quebec that made a lot of it. All right, still to come tonight, Kaylin's full forecast, and we'll take a hard look at your options for weight loss in this new year. Coming up next, though, power play.
Rates have gone up $400 since 2021. With this application, they would go up $600.
Some backlash after Nova Scotia's electric company seeks a rate hike. Details are next. Stay with us. Even as it continues to deal with the fallout from the massive cyber breach, Nova Scotia Power was in front of the Energy Board in Nova Scotia today, seeking approval for an 8% rate hike. That was met with immediate pushback from opponents who argue customers are already paying too much for too little. CTV's Jesse Thomas has more.
Nova Scotia Power says it needs to increase power rates by 8% over the next 2 years to improve system reliability and help pay for the $1.3 billion in major projects necessary to transition away from coal-fired power and adding new renewable energy sources to the grid while keeping up with inflation.
It's never a good time for our customers to see a request for a rate increase. We understand that, but we also hear from our customers that we need to continue to invest in reliability to make sure that Nova Scotians have access to a reliable electricity system.
Greg said the utility is trying to find the right balance between reliability and affordability, but the pushback was immediate. The Affordable Energy Coalition called on the Energy Board to protect households against a rate hike that would add hundreds to the average power bill, hitting low-income families hardest. They question whether a monopoly should be allowed to drive profits higher while customers struggle.
I'd like to see the board reconsider the 9% return on investment rate that Nova Scotia Power gets, to bring that down to a more reasonable rate. There was an expert who suggested 7.6%, which we agree with.
Both opposition parties are against an increase when they say service remains unreliable. They're calling for a full inquiry into Nova Scotia Power's operations.
Rates have gone up $400 since 2021. With this application, they would go up $600 by 2027, and Nova Scotians can't bear that cost.
Liberal leader Ian Rankin is calling on the board to reject the application and impose a multi-year rate plan that caps increases to provide stability.
So we're against asking for more, and we're against coming so often to ask for ratepayers to finance decisions that we don't believe are always prudent.
Nova Scotia Power said the cybersecurity breach, which impacted thousands of customers' records, isn't part of the rate hike request. The public hearing continues Thursday. Jesse Thomas, CTV News, Halifax.
Okay, thank you, Jesse. Time for a quick break. When we come back, your complete maritime weather forecast. Rainy night in Halifax anyway. Kaylin will tell us what to expect. We come back. Okay, it's the last few minutes of the last day of the first week of 2026. I wasn't sure I'd get that right, but I did.
You did. You got it through. Wasn't the nicest weather today, was it, Bruce?
No, a little damp out there, must say.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I prefer this or basically the bitter cold that we had from a couple of days ago. It's a toss-up for me.
Yeah, great debate going on around the workplace today about that.
Yeah, and while it was rain, drizzle, and fog for parts of Nova Scotia today, freezing rain in northern areas, the mainland of that province, there was a mixture of snow and freezing rain that came down across parts of New Brunswick and into areas of Prince Edward Island. We're still not done with this weather system as we're moving through tonight, as this low has to move up and past the Atlantic coastline of Nova Scotia. So there's some more snow to come in for some areas. The steadiest snow for the remainder of tonight is mostly going to be around Moncton, the southeast, Prince Edward Island, and parts of Cumberland and Colchester counties in Nova Scotia, maybe extending a little bit into the interior areas of Pictou County, and the potential there of some overall total snowfall accumulations as we make our way into the early morning hours of Thursday of around 5 to 15 centimeters. Now, by early in the morning, we should be down to lighter snow or flurries for most areas. But one thing I do want to mention, this is for the entirety of the Maritimes, be careful about slippery spots out there in the morning hours. Slippery roads, maybe slippery driveways, parking lots. And the reason for that is, even if you're not in one of those areas that's picking up more snow for tonight, and you're going to notice some very obvious snowy conditions, other parts of the region that had rain today will see temperatures tonight fall back down towards the freezing mark, so wet surfaces could become icy. And that's because the wind direction is changing around towards the northwest, bringing in some slightly colder air in off the continent. And the wind gusts for tomorrow around the Maritime region expected to be between 20 and 40 kilometers per hour. Here's a look at the low temperatures in the forecast for tonight. You can see most of the region is expected to fall into a range around -4 to 0. And then high temperatures in the forecast for tomorrow in the north of New Brunswick between around -1 and +3, getting up to 2 degrees there at Bathurst and 3 at Miramichi. Central and southern areas of New Brunswick for tomorrow, mostly with high temperatures between 0 and 3 degrees, including 2 at St. John and Moncton and Fredericton. For Prince Edward Island in the forecast for Thursday, high temperatures between -1 and +1. At 0 at Tignish and Summerside, +1 at Charlottetown and at Montague. In Cape Breton tomorrow, the high temperatures between 0 and 4 degrees, including 2 at Sydney and Port Hawkesbury. On the north shore of Nova Scotia, New Glasgow and Antigonish with highs near 0. On the eastern shore, Ecum with a high near +2. Sheet Harbour near 2 degrees as well. Same thing goes for Muscadabat Harbour. City centres Halifax and Dartmouth, high temperatures near 2 degrees. 1 for Truro. Up in Cumberland and Colchester counties, most of the high temperatures between 0 and 2. Highs near 2 degrees for the Annapolis Valley for tomorrow. And on the south shore of Nova Scotia, they'll be close to 3 degrees. Taking a look at our 7-day outlook, beginning first with New Brunswick. Coming up on Friday, it's a mix of sun and cloud during the day, and then some rain expected to move through Friday night. Start of the weekend on Saturday, a mix of sun and cloud with high temperatures in the low to mid single digits. It gets a little bit chillier for Sunday with some snow in the forecast. Instead, a mix of sun and cloud through the start of next week, and flurries expected on Wednesday. For Nova Scotia in the forecast, the next weather system is expected to arrive Friday night with some light rain and showers. Along with it, there'll be a chance of some lingering showers into Saturday with high temperatures around the mid to high single digits. More rain in the forecast for Sunday. It's followed by temperatures cooling a little bit through the start of next week, so flurries on Monday and then a mix of sun and cloud for Tuesday and Wednesday. And for Prince Edward Island in the forecast, coming up on Friday, a mix of sun and cloud during the day with some rain expected Friday night. It'll be a mix of sun and cloud on Saturday, a mixture of showers and flurries on Sunday, followed by flurries in the forecast for Monday of next week, and a mix of sun and cloud Tuesday into Wednesday. Bruce.
Thank you, sir. Wake up weather still to come. We're going to just take a quick little break right now, but hope to see you on the other side. Here, of course, and many people have hopes of slimming down, getting fit. These days, there are many ways to achieve those goals, of course. Exercise, counting calories, there are even weight loss drugs. But as CTV's Emma Convey shows us tonight, experts warn the best way to strengthen stamina is still old-fashioned sweat.
Many attended a high-energy cardio class at this gym in Dartmouth today. The only thing louder than the music was their motivation.
Moving your body doesn't have to be the gym, but in any way, shape, or form is really important for mental health.
That seems to be a common testament this time of year. For many, the new year means a new grind.
It's busy, the busiest time of year. A lot of people are in full of energy off the holidays and really ready to work towards those resolutions.
Participaction says people should take part in at least 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity a week.
Our previous report card had physical activity rates at around 49%, and that was data from before COVID. And the adult report card before that was somewhere in the mid to low 40s as well. So the issue is that we're seeing a flat line, which is good that we're not losing physical activity, but we could be gaining so much more by being physically active.
For others, it's about trimming down. In recent years, weight loss drugs like Ozempic have become popular. But experts warn it's not an alternative to working out.
The medications such as Ozempic are prescribed always in conjunction with a patient optimizing their lifestyle. It would never consider it an alternative as a quote-unquote way out. They're medications, and a healthy lifestyle has benefits far beyond just weight loss or sugar control.
Emma Convey, CTV News.
Thank you, Emma. Time for one last break tonight. Coming up, sticky notes with important reminders for all of us. First, though, it's your wake-up weather. Here's a live look at Yarmouth on this, what is it, Wednesday night, Thursday morning? How about that? Wake-up weather's coming up next. Okay, Thursday morning, we'll kick it off with a look at the wake-up weather in Kalen.
So as we move through tonight, we are expecting some steadier snow around the southeastern corner of New Brunswick, parts of the north of mainland Nova Scotia, as well as Prince Edward Island. So those areas in particular should watch out for some snowy road conditions for the start of the day for tomorrow. Other parts of the Maritime should watch out for some icy spots, though. Moving into the afternoon, we should see any morning flurries basically come to an end. The afternoon, a mix of sun and cloud, with most of the high temperatures in the Maritimes up between -1 and +3. Bruce.
Thank you, Caitlin. Well, a brand new apartment building in Halifax has come up with a unique marketing campaign. The CTV's Vanessa Wright shows us tonight the writings on the wall when it comes to their good vibes.
They're big, bright, and hard to miss. From the north end to the south end of Halifax, you don't have to go far to catch a glimpse of a life-size sticky note. Written on each one, common New Year's resolutions.
So things like get in shape or be more social or start a new podcast.
It's how a 14-story apartment building on the corner of Hollis and Sackville Street hopes to catch the eye of future tenants. The campaign is called New Year, New Apartment.
We want to just inspire people as they're thinking about new, exciting changes this year. Maybe that involves a new apartment.
People walking by say it's a nice sight to see.
I think it's a unique form of advertising, that's for sure.
If nothing else, it's a reminder that we are well into a brand new year.
I'm still making the mistake that it's 2025 right now, so I haven't adjusted myself, so I do think it's on the forefront of everybody's mind.
There's a total of 12 sticky notes around the city. The campaign was only meant to run for 7 days, though Mother Nature hasn't been helpful.
The sticky notes were faced with some wind and wet weather and snow, which we anticipated. It's January in Halifax.
Just like a traditional sticky note, it loses its grip over time. But it's hoped thousands of New Year's resolutions can stick it out through 2026. Vanessa Wright, CTV News, Halifax.
Thank you, Vanessa. That's the late news tonight. If you joined us late or you'd like another look at anything you've seen, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. It's always your home for news. I'm Bruce Frisco. Thank you for staying up late with us tonight. Have a good evening, and we hope to see you again tomorrow night.